Greetings, welcome to Goth Tarot. It's my weekly look into a collective shadow kind of sense of our lives, the things that make us sad or make us ponder mysteries or anything else. Welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is Goth Tarot, my weekly look into the shadow side of life, helping us integrate the darkness that's within us or helping us understand what's going on. So I do this with a layered reading where I use several decks and I kind of look at factors. This is a collective reading, so it's not specific to any one particular goth type, let alone zodiac type. So I'm going to get started, and today I'm using the Midnight Boulevard. It's kind of like my idea of a goth entryway. But I will also be using the Dark Angels Tarot and the Dark Wood Tarot. So let's get started, and I'm using first the Midnight Boulevard for what I call the Dark Design. And the Dark Design is about what is the factors going on in your life right now. So it's environmental or overall general kind of stuff going on. I'm going to draw 3 cards. These cards may tell a story moving through them, or they may be about separate qualities that would define the general environment right now. It's the Six of Pentacles. It's kind of a dark image. It's upright. In reverse, we have the Page of Swords. And then we have the upright Eight of Swords. So, of course, I'm immediately drawn more to the 2 outer cards, but the page itself represents the idea of this being a message somehow, what those other cards are about. The Page of Swords reversed, maybe indicating that we're having a hard time with communications. We're either missing communications or we're not fully good at expressing ourselves in some way. Some of this could just be awkwardness, or maybe it's attached to these situations here. So we have the Six of Pentacles, and well, I don't know what to make of that picture, but it is a sense of what the card's meaning is that people should try to share, people should try to give freely and with hope to each other. This is a very dark image here because it may constitute a zombie apocalypse for all I know, or just the sense that sometimes people have a hard time understanding that lesson, and that there may be an obligation for all of us to work together. But over here is a different picture altogether with the Eight of Swords upright. And I look at the Eight of Swords upright and I feel that we're overwhelmed and we're not able to see through the blindfolds put on us, that maybe we're sort of captive. Are we captive to the idea of trying to share more, or to be helpful, or to be, a positive force. One way or the other, we could be a captive to either sides of that coin. But is it an illusion? The Eight of Swords suggests sometimes we're letting ourselves believe things that maybe hide us from realities we're not ready to accept. So it's something to think about. The idea that some of us are really going to have a hard time gracefully. That's another way of looking at this card. Tactfully rising to the occasion of trying to put things back together that I ultimately get from the Six of Pentacles. That there's a lot of work to be done. So the next card I want to use, I'm going to call this the Dark Compulsion. And this represents the things that are maybe the closest to strong desires that we have. Passions that maybe we're not really sure if we have a place for them to express themselves. And of course, it's not necessarily about emotional relationships and that kind of thing. It could be talking about some serious other matters too. We're in a world now where there's things beyond our own personal darkness that are just beyond the personal darkness that people can have. But within that sense of what our compulsions, desires are, maybe there's something we need to keep in mind here. So what is the dark compulsion? It's the Seven of Cups. I really had to take a double take on it. Number one, there is some vagary with some of the labels up there. They're a little dark. But then I realized that the image below was the Seven of Cups. That's upright. So the dark compulsion may be to not want to face the matter that we can't have everything. The dark compulsion is wanting everything, and that without necessary consequence or appropriate nature there, and that we're more about maybe filling ourselves up with literally desires and things. And I wear my sense of being socialistic right there. I feel there should be more in place to create safety nets for people. But this is talking about people that maybe are more consumed with diversionary stuff through the media or wherever. And it could mask the idea, in my opinion, that it's keeping out some of the brutal realities of the world by just being absorbed in media stuff. So I'm not going to lecture anybody here. But the next deck I'm using is the Dark Wood Tarot. And I'm now looking at the Dark Solution, Compulsion Solution. And looking at what are the qualities or situations that could happen or resources that maybe would help us integrate this, because shadow work mostly depends upon being able to integrate the lessons of the shadow, of the dark side of ourselves, to understand that sometimes we all have these things, and that we can't be bliss ninny and just pretend that it doesn't exist and that only positivity and light are out there. If only you see it. Because no, without light there can be no shadows, and without the darkness there can be no light. I know somebody else says it better than that, but I'm just going to let it go with that. What is our dark solution? Well, I like using layer decks because mostly the idea that the same card can show up again and that maybe it draws some relevance to that. And the dark solution is the upright Six of Pentacles. Again, we literally have it over there in that corner. I'm just going to draw them a little closer together. The dark solution is realizing that everybody has a part to play, and it is socialism. We can only give what we actually have to give. We can't give more than what we have, despite scare stories out there. So we're talking about really the essence of mostly of what's within ourselves as character and as objectives too. We all need to do a little bit more. We all need to understand we're all here and we can all give to each other and we will receive in return. There is so much going on with the LA fires and the North Carolina flooding that's still has after effects. There's so much infrastructure that's being destroyed, and there's so much sadness and fear in the world. It is only appropriate that we all kind of dig in. Get over the illusion that maybe we don't have the abilities, we don't have our own personal grace to do this. Really what it came down to is this was always the problem. That's why it shows up twice. And that the situation is dire, but we can make it better. We can make it better. So that's it for Goth Tarot. Don't forget to check out our USA predictions. There's been one or two of them by now. I record this a little early, so I'm not exactly sure, but I know one is out for sure. The USA predictions, which covers a number of key areas. We're going to do likewise with our other set of predictions, so there's going to be at least 3 parts. The third part may be the longest and the hardest because we're going to talk about, this is a new world now. Things have changed dramatically, and how does the USA, our country, get along with or have situations with the other major and other players in the world. So we're going to do a whole segment on where diplomatic relations exist now between the USA and a number of key countries. So check that out. Don't forget to watch us live tomorrow night, Thursday, from 7 to 9 p.m. It tends to be a slower night, so if you've been missing us on Sunday, and if you're able to, drop in. And if you're on the other side of the planet, we get it. It's kind of a different time for you to be there. Drop in to leave the question, because if we have your question, we will do the reading for you. You may have to navigate back later, when you get up from your nap or whatever, but please do that. Well, we thank everybody for donations. Lately, donations have been great. We've been getting more of them, and we would love to get more of them. So thank you for doing that, and also for subscribing. Don't forget to watch my other show, The Emotional Exchanges, on Friday mornings or thereafter. It's a complete zodiac review for each sign of the zodiac. What are your opportunities, emotionally speaking? What is the action that's required? Also, do you have a chance of getting lucky? So that's on The Emotional Exchanges, Friday mornings at 7 a.m. Happy hour will be once again at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. And then Banshee's Material Matters, 10 a.m. Sunday morning. And our second live show, which will be from 2 to 4 p.m. That's a busy one. If you're not there, generally speaking, in the first half hour, that's usually when we have so many readings we know we're booked for the 2 hours. So check it out. Thank you, everybody. Follow us for Day of Cards and Oracles on various social media. I'm going to run the tape.